Howdy YouTube. Today I'm going to be doing a video game review, a full-on review of the masterpiece that is Bioshock Infinite. My lighting in here sucks, so I'm going to turn on another light. Bit better? Better, yes it is. Bioshock Infinite. This is the reverse cover. I like this cover better than the other one. It just has a good feel onto it. Someone said on my Facebook that they don't like how it doesn't have the Xbox thing on the top, but you know, I don't really care. I actually think that improves it a little bit. Bioshock Infinite. Whew, boy. I just beat it right now. I was taking my time with it because I would rather, something with like Bioshock. I'm a really big fan of Bioshock 1 and 2. I wanted to sit down and treat it like wine, You take light sips with it and you let the taste linger a bit. Like whenever I would play it, I'd play it in short bursts, but I would play it for a while in the short bursts. Like I would, explore everything that I could. And like I said, I just beat the game and I don't know why, it's still giving me the shivers of how, like, the way that worked. Wow. There hasn't been a game this great in a long time, and I loved the ever-loving crap out of Far Cry 3 and Deus Ex, my two games of the year of the last 2 years. Deus Ex 2011, Far Cry 3 of last year. But wow, I mean, just wow. I can't really even review it without. You can't really do the game justice. Like, I'm almost at a loss for words here. Irrational did. Wow, I mean, Irrational Games 2K, you guys got yourself a winner here. Like, the first Bioshock blew my mind. Bioshock 2, that was alright. I didn't hate it as much. I didn't dislike it as much as other people did. But this one, for anything that people didn't like about Bioshock 2, Bioshock Infinite, it was everything. I think it's better than the first Bioshock. Sure, it's a bit more linear, but there's still a whole beautiful world you can explore, and the combat and the gameplay is just wonderful. The RPG elements in it are done really well. I mean, you can't really level up everything if you wanted to. I mean, you probably can, but it'd probably take a lot of grinding time to do it. There's probably some glitch or whatever where you can, like, save the data, get a bunch of your money, get more money, save the data, get a bunch of money, and then, do it all over again. But no way, you can't do that because it all saves. Never mind. But, and like there's the secrets you can find in the game, you can get Elizabeth to lockpick, and I like the game so much that I actually drew AD on my hand. I ain't gonna tell you what that means. No, I'm not gonna tell you, even though no one watches my channel. I will not tell you what that means. But when you play through the game, you're like, oh man, it makes you really want to remember why you love Bioshock and games like this. It just blows your mind. I didn't play in 1999 mode yet. I just played right through the hard mode, and hard mode is pretty hard, even though sometimes it's not that hard. The only part I really had complications with was the final fight in the game. But once you like figure out what the strategy actually is, because there is a certain strategy to it, you can't do it. You can't do it. There's like you can only really do it one way without failing. And when you get to it, you'll figure out what I mean. But like I got really like throughout most of the game, I was calm because I was having a great time with it. But I think it was only at that point where I was just straight up just angry at the game. Like I was like yelling at it. But that ending made everything, any anger that I had, worth it. That ending was so beautiful, so memorable. It was one of the best endings I've ever seen in a game. It gives you like chills on your spine. And stay till after the credits. Wait till after the credits. There's a little thing for you at the end also. And I was just like, oh man. I can't give this game enough praise. I really can't. I really want to start play through 1999 mode, see what that's like. I hope it's really good. I hope reminds me of System Shock 2. I really hope they make a System Shock 3 now that I'm on that, but like out of this entire Shock series, because I'm considering Bioshock and System Shock now part of the same series, Which one do I like the best? I think I'd have to say this one's my favorite. I've played through most of System Shock 2. It gets a little too, like, you get lost a little too easily in that. Bioshock, it was great. I mean, really great. No more dumbed down. Bioshock 2, it's just kind of, it's kind of more of an expansion. Like, I'll agree with most people, it's more or less just an expansion on the first one. And then Bioshock Infinite just takes everything that's great about all of them and just says, and it takes also some inspiration from Half-Life and just says, here you go, have a blast. Now, there are some actually spine-tingling moments in this game. Some great moments, like play the game with the lights off and just explore everything, because listen to some dialogue, and you'll see some really great moments in the game where you're just like, wow, they really are doing this. It's one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen in a game, and that ending is wonderful. I can't praise this game enough. It definitely, on a 1 to 10 scale, gets a 10 out of 10. I mean, there's some graphical hiccups, and when I was playing at the very end of the game, the sound seemed to cut out completely. I don't know why I did that, but I had to restart that entire last mission. Like I said, it's a real pain, especially if you don't have all of your, items leveled up, which I didn't. I just kind of had level 1 of most things. And there's this one scene. It has really nothing to do with the game. Just go into the bar and find the guitar that rhymed and play it. I'm not gonna lie, that was probably one of the most beautiful moments I've ever seen in the game. And this is coming from someone. I'm not getting paid by Irrational. I'm not getting paid by anybody to do this review. This is just me telling you all out there, as a gamer, as a nerd, as a fan of this series, as a fan of the Shock series, a fan of RPGs, fan of shooters, fan of any game in general, that this game, it's worth your time and money. Like, I couldn't give it enough praise. Like, I really like I said, really liked Far Cry 3 last year. I really liked Deus Ex Human Revolution. I really liked Dishonored. But this game tops all of them, like, no questions. I haven't played Tomb Raider yet, and I haven't played Defiance. And, there's the problem. Like, there's no real games coming out this year that really stand out to me as much as this one will. I think that's one problem I have. Not really a problem that I have with this game, but one thing that I can say about this game is that it's like, no other game's going to top this. I don't think. Not for a while. This is the new benchmark in gaming for me. This is how I'm going to, see most games. Like, I've never been so hyped for a game in a long time. Like, movies, yeah, there's The Purge and Pacific Rim, and everyone knows how hyped I am for Pacific Rim. But for games, it's been this one mainly for the longest time. It was Duke Nukem Forever, Deus Ex, and then this. Far Cry 3 was kind of like the surprise game. But Bioshock Infinite, I mean, I spent $150 on the Songbird edition, which I thought was worth it. Some people said they didn't think it was, but I didn't think it was bad. Even though whoever packaged it poorly, because one of the plastic covers on it fell off, which I can glue it back on, but that's not that big deal. But still, it would have been nice, for them to at least... It seems whenever I buy something special, it gets damaged in some way. Like, I bought the Friday the 13th set, and that got damaged, but that's not the point. The point is that Bioshock Infinite is a masterpiece. It's a solid 10 out of 10, 5 out of 5. You can't go wrong with Bioshock Infinite. Like, no matter what scale I'm going to put it on, it's going to get a perfect rating. And honestly, like I said, I can't praise this game enough. It's worth your time and money. Rent it if you have to, but I would say go out and buy it. Buy it now. This is the new revolution in games. This is the best first-person shooter I've played in a very long time, in the last few years even. Probably the best I don't know what I consider the previous benchmark of first-person shooters, but this is now the new benchmark I'm going to compare to all first-person shooters to. Call of Duty is not going to top this ever, unless they come out with something very similar, some similar storyline. And when I say Bioshock, I want it to follow this similar storyline, have some connection to the Infinite series, have some connection. Wow. And I can't wait for the DLC. I got the season pass. I can't wait to play that. Man, and like I said, The ending, oof, that gives it a point in itself. Like, if I went overscale, I'd give this game an 11, but I don't. I'd give it a 6, but I don't go overscale. I mean, wow, how did man? And like I said, you have to wait till after stay till after the credits, and especially watch the credits because you get this really cool video during the credits, and it's one of those things that kind of makes your skin, gives you goosebumps. It's a really great experience. I'm so happy I played through this game. I'm so happy I got this game. I'm so happy this game turned out really well. Anyways, that's my review for Bioshock Infinite. If any of you are contemplating getting it, take it from me. Buy it if you're an RPG fan, if you're a first-person shooter fan, because it really combines both of those aspects really well. Even though there's not much in the choice aspects, there's a few choices. Even though, like, you think at the end there might be a choice you get to make. But what you have to do is you gotta play through the game. You gotta see that story unfold. You gotta see that ending. It's one of the most beautiful things ever. The graphics are solid. Even on the Xbox, I think they were pretty good. And I even heard on the PC and PS3 they're even better. But for the Xbox, with the graphics they use, they can't really be that bad. Even though, like I said, there's some graphical errors. But anyways, that's my review for Bioshock Infinite. Get it and rock on. Game on.